everybody. I want to thank you very much for coming to my channel to see what is up there today. I haven't seen a lot of activity lately, but don't you worry about a thing. I know there's so much to do this time of year. But thank you very much for stopping in. Now, this is a very special moment for me because from the time that I had some problems with my computer, I lost just about I lost 3 entire garages of cars, and the bikes were part of it. But by the grace of God, I had the presence of mind to offer a couple of these bikes to you guys, and I had them on MediaFire. So I was able to get the ones from MediaFire and then resurrect all the rest of them that were gone. It took some time, but they're better than they ever were. The trouble is they still don't lean, and they still don't have forks that actually turn back and forth. But the wheel turns and the handlebars don't move, but the guy's doing his best. Now, the only other problem with that is when you go to see them in the showroom, you have to, I'll show you how to operate it, but you have to get them to come down to where they're supposed to be. Now, in the game, they're perfectly fine. Anybody knows how to fix that, let me know, and I'll make that adjustment too, but I had no idea how to do it. So, here's the thing. Here's 12 bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 bikes I'm going to give to you guys, and I'm going to take you right over to the showroom. These are all the compressed ones that are getting ready to go on MediaFire right now, as soon as I get this video up for you. And let's come on over to here, to Content Manager. And let's go right to the beginning, and we'll start right at the top. Now, I don't know why it does this, where it jumps into this. Anybody knows how to make it stop doing that? I just as soon not have it do that, but I don't know how. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This is called Zombie GTA 4, and we'll take a peek at it. Now you'll see what I mean when we come into here. Now this one's not too bad. At least you can see the bike, but all you have to do is hit the T, and see this little apparatus right here. All you have to do is bring it down and watch where the tires touch the ground. Don't make it dig in if you can help it, and if you can't get far enough back, go back a little more. And just right there, and then click it and hit the T, and you're at the proper level. Now it's right in the game, but it's not right in here. I don't know what to do about it, as I told you. But here is what we've got. Now this is the actually. Let's see. Yeah, this tank is one solid tank, just like it came normally. And that's why you can't get graphics to work properly on it like that. But I took it in, I got all the shadows working properly, I've got the wheels aligned for the first time ever. I wouldn't say it's 100% perfect, but it goes down the road nice, all the lights work. It's a nice bike, very nice. And got all skins that work, and guys that look like they're part of a motorcycle gang. Now, if you want to put different plates on it other than the stock plate, you're certainly welcome to do that. You can find the plates in every single one of the skins. As a matter of fact, let's try another skin and just see. No, that doesn't have it. That doesn't have it. But you can get them from the other bikes. There's a lot of the skins that are similar, and there's a lot of them that are completely different. Now, I don't want to take a long time with this particular one. Yeah, there's one of the plates for Jody. I did this back in the wintertime. St. Louis will always be my team, Cardinals. So, okay, let's move right to the next one, because we got quite a ways to go, and I don't want to bore you to death. But let's come on down to the next one. This is the Billy's bike. Now this is the one that's supposed to go. Now see, this one's up in the air too. Remember, hit the T, back yourself away so you have some real estate. Grab this little green part and bring it down to where it's touching. This is the only pisser to the whole thing, is it's a pain in the ass. Now I'd left click it on the surface and then hit the T to make sure that you're loosed from it. But as you can see, if you were familiar, well, you're probably not anywhere near as old as I am, but familiar with Easy Rider, This was the bike that Billy was riding. And if we put the driver in there, you'll see. I did the best I could to make him look like Billy, but I couldn't find a hat. So without the hat, I'm doing the best I can. Now, if you want Peter Fonda to ride with him, I'll show you where he is. Right here, Charles Bandit. Wait a minute. This fucking thing. Ready? There. And he'll pop in here in a minute. Of course, he'll be fucking airborne too. So you have to, well, let's get the right skin if we can find it. Just go right to Fonda, right there. And you'll have the proper skin. Or no, that isn't really it. It's this one. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I can't get him in here, but again, hit the T, and you'll be able to tell which one is which, I think. Nope. So much for being able to tell which one is which. Okay. All right. And just make sure you hit the T again, or God only knows what'll happen. But there you've got both of the bikes for Easy Rider. And this one is outstanding. It really is. In fact, they're all good, but there's some that just handle beautiful, and those long fork choppers are fucking awesome. They really are. The big tires and the whole deal. It came out better than I expected because I learned, you see where the wheels are in here? Well, they're also the same place in the game, and there was a lot of learning to learn how to do that. I had no clue, and it wasn't as intuitive as you might think. But let's try to press forward. I know we've got a long ways to go. Now here's a Billy's bike, but it's got ape hangers. But it's got other things that are different about it. Different skins. Again, hit the T. Get yourself some real estate and bring it down to where it belongs so you can see it. Now it'll stay there, okay? It's just initially is a pain in the ass. And I don't know how to belabor the point, but I don't know how to fix it. Now this is a similar bike, but it's got ape hangers, and all of them have mirrors, which none of them had originally. And it's got the proper pipes for Billy. It's a really nice bike, absolutely. And there are some different skins that I think you'll like very much. And now, here's what makes this really nice, is because I divided the tank. Each half of the tank is a different unit with a different names. You have to, if you're going to change from one, you can't really take skins from one and put it in another because they're not all the same named like that. But you can monkey with it to your heart's content. Now for Bat Scrotum, and we'll put the driver in so you see who it is. It's Batman. I got Batman, and I've also got Robin. Batman and Robunicus. There's the Bat Scrotum gang. And just to have some fun, you know. And there's quite a few of these, so you can have a whole gang of these fuckers scooting down the road in different bikes. But this, as you'll notice, all of the text is proper on both sides of the tank. And that's the only way you can do it is by cutting the tank in half, gluing it back together, and renaming the parts. But as you can see, that is a very nice thing. Now the chopper, this is your first long chopper. And it was the original one. Now this is going to be way airborne, no doubt. But this is the original one that I never could get the front wheel to operate on. Remember in the very beginning, I was going out of my mind because, you know, the wheel didn't turn. Well, that's not a problem any longer. This works beautiful. And I've got a real specially huge fucking gas tank on it. Excuse me, huge gas tank. And it'll go all the way around the desert course on one tank of gas. And you'll have some left over. But it handles beautiful. But look where I put the mirrors. Now you say, they look like dog ears. Well, they do. But when you're driving it, they work great. I mean, you're looking forward through the handlebars, and you just glance down gently and bango, there you've got it. And that was a nice paint skin. I spent some time with that. But you'll like what you like, and others you'll pass on. But this is a really nice bike. You can see the pipes are all blued from the heat. It goes like a bastard. Most all of them will do over 200 miles an hour. Now, you'll notice that every one of these letters is a different color. Well, if you turn the lights off, it's not that way, but they're lights. So there's almost 100 lights to this bike, which may or may not make any difference to you, but nevertheless, and somebody asked me to put tattoos on the dude, so I did on a couple of them. I forgot now. It's been months. So there's that one. Then now we got the Charles chopper, which you say, what's the difference, Humble? Well, there is a difference. There's a difference to every single one of them, one way or another. The one thing they got similar is you got to hit the friggin' T to get them down to where you can enjoy them in the showroom, but I know, we'll get to it. So what's different about this? Well, come on over and take a look. This one's got an elaborate turbocharger system with air breathers on both sides. Take a look at those puppies. This fucking thing will honk down the road. I mean, honk down the road. This is a really nice bike, and you'll notice the rake in the frame. They had to cut the frame and then put the little tube back on. And I don't have the ability to weld, but I do have the ability to put them in there. But it is a beautiful riding bike. Oh my God, it is really nice. So you'll love this bike. You will I know you will, because I sure as fuck do. I'll tell you that. And again, it's got the split tanks. So if you have RF on this side, you're going to have RF on that side rather than it being backwards. And yeah, you can run down the road with a whole gang of these little bastards, and you all have your colors on and going down the road. Trust me, it's more fun than you think it's going to be, but it is fun. And you'll notice I cleaned up the top of the triple tree with this big piece of chrome, and it's really a nice bike. Now you'll notice all of the gauges were stock the way the guy did it originally, so they're kind of, I don't know, I didn't really like it. So as time progressed, I liked it a lot less. Now this is, well, I showed you that one. Well, I didn't show you it up close. Boom. Now you can see the guy. I went and researched what Peter Fonda looked like back in the movie. And I found some good photographs of him and what he was wearing. And I was even able to search online and find some of the things that he was wearing. And I think you'll find it enjoyable. These stripes were on his jacket. He did have the flag on the back. And he has this cool little insignia right there, because his dad was in World War II. Henry Fonda. But this one, double NOS bottles, and the turbo action is that beautiful ivory with just the chrome right there. These are really nice. This is a great bike. Wide tire back. It's a really nice bike. Twin tanks. It's a dandy. You're going to love it. I think you're going to have a hard time figuring out which one you like the very best. Now, this one is the only one with a Springer. I could make more of them, but this is the only one that there is for the time being. And instead of the Springer, the front rail being a different color, but take a look at this when I come down to touch. It just about is absolutely perfect. Now, in game, it is perfect, but I made these chrome right along with the rest of it. But this is a sweetheart. It really is. And I got two sets of lights in the back, which these are kind of greenish. And that's just really pretty, I think. I really had an awful good time doing this. I'd never done motorcycles until this idea came along with the fellow who came out with that original bike that I just didn't like the forks. So I started working on it until I got the beautiful paint jobs. I think they're beautiful anyway. And you're going to have fun. Now, here's something else I can turn you on to. Now, of course, you don't use any damage for any of these because they're too powerful. They'll just break. You can't use damage. What is it? Is that the one? Oh, no. I had one on the back. She was holding a beer can, but this isn't it. Okay, well, anyway, you're going to like that one. Now get down to the lounge lizards. These are the ones that have two people on them. I can explain this to you as well. Okay. You'll get used to it. It's a pain in the ass, but you'll get used to it. But you probably won't be looking at all of them at the same time. Now, you'll notice this fits. It lands perfectly. Okay. Well, this is how this guy actually has been put in with 3D because there was no way I could get the actual driver to do it. The actual driver will be sitting on the back here with her hands up on his shoulders. Now, the only way you're going to see that is in game. But this is a nice bike. I just got done working on it. I've got it all beautiful as far as the wheels they actually center where they belong. And it even makes a difference on where this axle goes through the center of the tire, whether the wheel wobbles or not. So you're going to notice that these are really, really, really nice. Now, unfortunately, this is one of those deals where it doesn't have a split tank. So what you end up with a script on this side is going to be fucked up and backwards on that side. So I try to use things that I can get away with, and that was not supposed to be part of it, but it's escaped in there. So I hope Sir Spats won't get irritated because his logo's on the side. I thought I removed it, but you can see I didn't. Different textures, what have you. Yeah. So, you'll notice different drivers also there, but she will be on the back. Now, Lounge Lizard 2 has a different woman on the back. Alrighty. And again, it only has a single tank that it came with. So one side will be correct, the other side will not. But nevertheless, it's a good bike. You may or may not want to drive it yourself, but it makes a nice bike to have, you know, as if you had a bunch of people out on a motorcycle cruise, someone would be carrying coolers and what have you, and in this case, a couple of ladies. So now we come down to Humble's bike. Humble's bike is a long fork, but it's not as long as the other ones. But it's got different pipes. And it took quite... Now this son of a bitch is way up in the air. I don't know what the fuck causes that, but it is a pain in the ass. It's a setting somewhere in the 3D editor, but I'll be fucked if I know where it is. Now, as you'll notice, this fits perfectly. I made the rake so that I would absolutely line up perfectly on the ground. This is the thing, as I got doing more and more of them, I would learn something from one that I would use in that one, then I would have something to work with the other ones. Like you'll notice that this has two of those big braces in the front, and that really, believe it or not, makes a difference, as well as making sure that this front tire is not off one side or the other. I had to learn how to adjust that through the files. You can have it perfect in 3D, but the files have to match. It takes a long time, guys. I'm not looking for accolades, but I hope you're going to enjoy these. They're really nice. All the lights, as I say, work. Flames, smoke, the whole deal. And they're really, this is a nice bike. I think you're going to have a little bit of a time figuring out which one you like the best. Yeah, some Van Gogh looking shit. Okay, now you'll notice that these have been moved up and they've been chromed, and I made it a single tank rather than the double tank. We're almost there, guys. Now, Squaw Claw. This got amazing. This I just did this morning. I mean, refurbished it. Wait till you see this puppy. This is really amazing. There we go. Now take a look at that tank. I took the idea of a peanut tank, but with a huge amount you can carry, and I moved the tack, enlarged it, and put it right on the headlight. You can see it better if I light it up. So the tack is there on the headlight, and your speedometer is here where you can easily read it. And this is a nice bike. It came out really good. Again, it's got the 100 and some odd different light INI files, but it looks wonderful. When you're sitting here like this, you're like almost like riding a buffalo. Take a look at that though. It come out really nice, and it's a beautiful bike. It really is. That was a stained glass window in Fairfield, California, at the Seventh-day Adventist church that I used to go with my Uncle George many moons ago. But you're going to enjoy it. It's a nice bike. Let's press on. We're almost done. We got one more Wages bike. Now he's going to be riding this bike by himself. There won't be anybody with him. So if you wanted to take it out drag racing or something, I don't know how this is going to be for drag racing. I've never tried it, but there it is. And this has a split tank, single filler, and it's a good bike. Everything lines up. We're good to go. It's got these nice little pipes. So two of the bikes have the pipes like this. I tried not to make everything the same, but to make them varied. But still, I had a lot to do to get 12 bikes ready for you guys, but I promise you way back in the wintertime. And finally, I've made good with it. All the wheels work. They handle decent. Now, now I can tell you easier probably than I can show you. But when if you've got them in the wheel, you've got to make sure your wheel is at 400 degrees, not 200, or they shake like a bastard. But at 200, you literally will just feel the tension on the wheel, and the tiniest. I mean, you won't even see your hands move, but the bike will be moving. Let me show you. Let's just let me take Squaw Claw, and let's go to drive. And then, do I still have it? No. Or I can at least tell you. Oh, that's a nice handling bike. I mean, you really would find it enjoyable to go around this huge course driving that. Once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. You come into the game. Now, you won't have any of these, I guess. I don't know how to give them to you. But I could, well, let's just do it. Now, gears, you have 9 speeds. Tires, 18 and 20. Fuel, 77 gallons. Electronics, 20%. 120 differential coast. 25 power and 5 preload generic. 68% front brake, and the brake power is of 131. Look at that puppy. Suspension, I've got the ABR set low, so it handles nice. See where they are? They're perfect. Various is 110 steer assist, but it defaults to that. If you don't want that, you have to write it in yourself. Now there's, in order to get that happening. So you're here. I have to, with a G27, push the 2 center red buttons and the bottom black button to get 400 degrees. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know what changed it, but that's the way it is. Okay, let's pop it in gear. It's a paddle shift. So we're scooting along nice, using the foot clutch and the foot accelerator. Now look how beautiful it handles. It's not shaking like a bastard. There, now we're finally up in the 9th gear. You can hear the wind blowing like a bastard, but you can see great out the mirrors. If I go right down the center of the road, you see the right one could use a tiny bit of adjustment. You guys know how to do that. There we go. Now the speedometer is not correct. I would have to get with Jody Parks for that. But he's been very busy, and I can't pester the shit out of the guy, or he won't answer the phone no more. Now, if you really want to lay into it, I'm clicking up to 100% turbo. I just let loose on the, not so much depression on the accelerator pedal. In fact, I'm just breathing on it. See how nice it turns, but you would never see my wheel turn at all. It's just the tension. If you overdo it, you're gonna fuck yourself up. Now let's see what we got here. You gotta use both hands or it does this, but let's go for the cheater. Where the fuck is it? Did I get it? No. This bastard. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Now that I got my other hand on it, it calms right down nice. I'm just gonna walk it up to as fast as we were able to go. That's 7th, 8th, 9th. 100% turbo. I'm just walking it gently. Because you'll smoke the tires if you just jab it. See what I mean? 190, I smoked the tires. Gets away from you, though, it gets away from you. Okay. Now just tip it right down to about 20% turbo. All right, you got the idea. Try to ride nice with them, and they will play good together. I don't have it at 100% power, for the drivers, because they get too fucking wild and they don't stay on the road. Strength and aggression, I keep it down to a reasonable amount. But they're not cookie cutter bikes. I never make cookie cutter things. They have similarities as power and engine, but they're not the same. So fast bikes will get ahead, they'll stay in the pack, and the lesser bikes will deal with it. I can't see shit, obviously, because I've got a low pipe bike in front of me. That. It's a little bit of, yeah, it ain't easy, but it can be done. But it's rewarding once you get the hang of it. If they lean, that would be fucking phenomenal, but I mean, you can scoot along with somebody, you look over and there they are. And that's what I love doing this. It reminds me of motorcycling when I was a kid. we're moving along at a good pace. That was me letting off, trying to wiggle my nose. There's Peter Fonda's bike with the fishtails. Oh shit. I didn't say you couldn't have fun, did I? You can have fun. Now, if they leaned, you probably wouldn't be able to do that. See the Brembos lighting up? You can see them at night. Well, that's it, guys, right there in a nutshell. I'll get these boxed up for you. Please let me know that you've at least watched the video, okay? Just put something in there, because I don't know who's watching and who isn't. I know you're busy, and who watches to the end, I don't know. But let me know, would you? I'm just curious. Thank you. Humble out. Bye-bye.